Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and in today's video we are going to be doing another Sims 4 speed build, but this time I'm going to be building a tiny home. And I got this idea from a image that I see on Facebook of a small house, and I screenshotted just the exterior and I thought I would give it a go. And then I did find a picture for a similar sort of style house that I ended up using for inspiration for the interior as well. And I really liked how it turned out. So I'm building this in Willow Creek, I believe, and the whole style I have for this house, I'm building a few houses with this style to put them all together in the same world. It will be up on the Sims 4 gallery to download. So yeah, it's a very small house. I think ideally I've sort of built it realistically big enough only for one sim, but we're going to move on inside now and just quickly do the floor plan, which obviously didn't take too long because it's quite a small interior to work with. But downstairs I'm going to have a semi-open plan kitchen and living room, and then we've got the bathroom downstairs, and then upstairs just the one bedroom. I did give this one quite a nice garden though, because a lot of the time when I build tiny houses I do try and give them a nice outdoor space. So also for this style, for this house, I wanted it to have quite a modern vibe to it as well. So we're going in and we're going to be using lots of blacks, whites, a little bit of colour here and there. As you can see, I've used some teal in the tiling, but everything's quite modern and clean looking, especially downstairs. So as you can see, there is only a small kitchen area. I will fully play test it. I think I have already fully play tested this one actually, and there is enough space for everything. So I popped the fridge over in that little cutout nook area, and then I'm just making sure that we've got everything the basics that you need. Obviously it's hard to have a lot in a small space. And then I'm coming in here, I just wanted to change the stairs because I wanted to have ones that had a built-in base so that we can put a TV and things like that up against it without it looking too strange. And whenever I've got to play around with the shape of the stairs, I will always do it on the outside of the build and then pop them inside. So then again, moving on into the living room now, I'm adding in that TV and a sectional sofa, as I felt as though this helped go in that the L shape of the sofa helped with keeping the kitchen, although it is open, sectioning it off. So I really liked how that turned out. And there was also room still to place it down, a little dining table and two chairs. And then here I'm just coming in and cluttering up the TV cabinet. Although it's quite a small space, I do always like to add in a little bit of clutter because I feel as though it makes the space look quite lived in. And again, I did want this to feel quite I wanted it to have that realistic lived in look, although it is only a small space. I feel as though it's got quite a nice size bathroom though for a tiny home. A lot of the time when I build a tiny home, the bathroom ends up really tiny, but I feel as though, again, where we've done that cutout for the fridge, it gave us a nice space to add in a little shower over in this section over in the back. And then of course we can come in and add the toilet and sink and all of that. Moving on upstairs, I played around with where I was going to place the bed in here a little bit. It does end up getting changed to realistically you can only access one side, but like I said, I did have this build in mind just for a single sim. So what I end up doing is scooting the bed over so it blocks off that side of the room. So really you can only access that side of the room if you were to go over and come off on that side of the bed. So I end up moving the mirror out of there and switching that around, but it worked. I felt as though it looked quite nice, but it made the most of the space because I could also then fit in a bookcase up here and a desk. So there's a little work from home space even, or just a place to use the laptop. So I'm just cluttering that up as well and adding in some homely elements. And I kept everything quite neutral in here. We add a little bit of teal downstairs and then a little bit of this dark-haired blue on the bed up here, and I paired the chair and that with it as well. But I felt as though it all looked quite neutral, quite minimalist and stylish, and I really liked how this turned out. I used quite a few items from the Dream Home Decorator pack, which I feel as though I reach for quite a lot when I'm building with this style. So here is where you can see I've scooted that bed over so it's right up against that wall and kind of just sectioned off that area and then swapped the mirror to the other side, and I really liked how that turned out as well. I added on a little balcony area here which I thought was quite nice. I could imagine sitting out here of an evening would be really nice. I'm just going to tile the front, and I didn't have a budget or anything in mind for this. I did, although it's quite small, I wanted it to be a little bit on the luxurious side, so adding in that little balcony space added to that. And then in the exterior of the picture that I see on Facebook, there was a little carport garage area and it was covered. So by building the room, adding the roof, but then deleting the walls and the floor, it took the tile count back up to 64. So it did still keep it in that tiny home. I can't think of the word, kept it as a tiny home though. Basically I did make it slightly bigger and then add in just that little car from the debug menu. Again, I feel like adding a car just makes it look a little bit more luxurious, especially where it's a nice little flashy red sports car. So here we're going to move on to doing some landscaping and the back garden. I did decide to fence off the garden, and we're building this on a lot that's a lot larger than the property, so you know, you could make this bigger if you wanted to. Or of course you could maybe place it down on a smaller lot. I can't remember what lot size I built this on, as it was a little while ago that I built this, but I decided to add in a barbecue area and a pool. So again, although it's a tiny home, it's just got that really nice luxury feel to it. I feel as though it's a great sort of, it's not a starter home budget wise, but a great starting off home. It's got a bit of a new build vibe to it as well. So we're coming in, we're adding in that pool now. I added in some lounges and a fire pit, so it's a really nice space outdoorsy to chill in. And then I'm just going to finish off here with some terrain paint again to make it look a little bit more lived in, just painting on the areas where they're going to be commonly walked from the back. Obviously the only way to access this garden is from the front of the property, and the way I had the car angled didn't make it accessible, so I did straighten out the car so that you could walk through it before I uploaded it to the gallery. And then this is the finished result. So short and sweet, but I hope you all enjoyed watching. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like I mentioned, it will be available to download on the gallery, so I will leave all of that information in the description below. If you have any build requests, please do also let me know. I predominantly build in the Sims 4, and I have only just decided to start a Sims 4 channel and really get into it. It was something that I've wanted to do for a while, so any build suggestions would be gratefully appreciated. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. Bye bye.